Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Grab a Cup of Knit and Chat. It's only been a week, but I'm back with a WIP parade, so to speak. So, if that's something that you're looking forward to, welcome and grab something either cozy to drink or cold to drink, and we'll get into it. I have my coffee. My wonderful partner, he made me a pot of coffee this morning. I made coffee creamer yesterday. I made pumpkin pie spice coffee creamer, and I love it. And I have my water. Okay, today is episode 41 of Grab a Cup of Knit and Chat. It is September 21st, 2025. It is Sunday, and it's about 10 minutes to noon. I have my window open, so you may hear cars going by. I live in the Willamette Valley of Oregon. It is raining outside. It is, like, to me, the most perfect fall day out there. Because it's raining, I'm not going out to walk. And on top of that, I also, I got ill last week. I was going to try to find the temperature for you, but let's see. It is right now 57 degrees outside. Perfect. I don't like it anywhere over 68, 69, 70 is a toppers for me, just so you know. Last week I did a video and I think I said in that video, that was episode 40, that I really didn't feel things at the moment. Well, by Tuesday, I left work mid-afternoon. I came home, I went to bed, and I've spent a couple of days in bed, not really doing a whole lot. And I've been laying around in my recliner with a blanket over me. I had fever. I felt dizzy. I've just kind of like the whole gamut. Not sure what was wrong. I'm still kind of lightheaded some, but you don't want to hear about that. I missed a couple of days of work. I was trying to do things, and I just sit and knit and had tea and coffee and water, and my partner made me pho. I love it. It makes me feel good when I'm ill. We do it homemade. Sorry, my face. I don't know what it is. I think allergies are running rampant because we're in the changing of the seasons. The first part of the week was like anywhere from the 70s to the 90s, and it was cold in the morning, and I think that had a lot to do with me getting ill. But short story long, I have, oh my gosh, I counted them. I want to say 15 or 16 WIPs in bags right now that I have touched at some point this last week. And I'm only counting one of them because I took it out of a basket and put it in a bag. I haven't actually knitted on it, but I'm counting it because I do plan on knitting on it some today. And another one of them is a test knit for Les Garçons that I just started this last week. So, excuse me while I grab one. I have them on the spare bed here in my craft room. And I'm just going to grab one and start with the first one that's closest to me. This one is in my Fiber Hustle Carrie's Obsession chipette, I think is what it is. Let me open my, I should have been more prepared. I sat down to start the video. I grabbed things I wanted to talk about. Excuse me. I sat down to start the video and the camera wouldn't work on my tablet. So I don't have an iPad. I just have a tablet. And it just decided that every now and then it decides that, hey, the camera is going to stop and you have to disable it and then enable it and it'll start again. But that took me a little bit. I'm looking in my personal traveler's notebook. I've shown it before. I have a project book in here. I've talked about my passport. I really want to use my passport. And I think that I'm going to start using my passport in my house purse. And if I remember, I showed it to you last week, or I talked about a house purse last week. Anyway, I have my Kindle in it. I have a journal in it. And I think I'm going to use my traveler's passport in that because my girl's chunky, as you can see. And I usually take this with me in my everyday tote bag to work and back. So, yeah. Okay. So, what's in this chip ad? Let's get back on track. And this chip ad is my... what is it? Did I write them down? Oh... Did I forget to write something down? Let's see. I'm sure I wrote them down. Nope. On August 21st. Here they are. Let me get my clip out so I can clip this open. I love these skeleton clips. This is a small one. But I did get some from Amazon recently that are huge. And I'll show you what I use them for. When I want to look at a particular page, this doesn't like to stay open, so I just clip that to that page. I do it my calendar at work. I love doing that. They work awesome. I was looking for one of my bigger ones because I thought I brought some in here. I got like a whole bag of them for $8 from Amazon. They're just called skeleton bulldog clips. Oh my gosh, I love them. Okay, anyway, in here it holds a pair of socks. I can do my 2 at a time socks. I think you'll see, yeah, in my other chip at basket, you'll see a pair of 2 at a time socks that I'm doing in a little bit. These I'm not doing 2 at a time. It is the Heel Toe Do-Si Do by Kay Litton, also known as the Crazy Sock Lady. Did I do a whole picture? No, but this just has a couple of pair on it and it doesn't give any of the pattern away. So that's what they look like. It's called Heel Toe Do-Si Do. I'm doing a 64 stitch count on a 1.5. I had to stop there. I started out using the 1.5 DPN, my collage squares. They're 4-inch square DPNs. I am having some trouble with my fingers, so I restarted these yesterday. Yes, I need to write that down, that I restarted. Actually, I restarted them on Friday, which was September 19th. So I picked them up to work on it it's a twisted rib for the cuff. And when I'm doing that kind of stuff, and it's not just straight 2x2 rib, it's a little harder for me to work my DPNs. So I restarted them. I put them on one of my Unicorn US1. I'm doing the magic loop, and I just finished my cuff. So these were originally started on August the 21st of 2025. And I restarted them Friday night. Excuse me. And I got half of the cuff done, which is the silver marker. And then yesterday I finished off the cuff. So that's not a lot to see. You can't even see the pattern on it. She said recently on one of her podcasts that this was a really good pattern for self-striping yarn. So we'll see. That's why I started them. She said that around the time that I started them, and that's why I started them. But because I was using the Collage Square DPNs and doing a twisted rib, it was hard for me to work with it. And then I just decided I'm not that far in. I changed needles. This is what I did first. I was on the before the silver marker. I was right around halfway between that and the gray stripe. And I put these needles in and I started working. And I noticed a considerable difference in the stitches. I did like 2 rows, and it looked like I didn't continue in the pattern, or it was just a really big difference between the DPN, the collage DPNs and these, that I just took it out and restarted it. So that's why I restarted it. I'm doing these in the Regia electric neon color. This is 02943. This is 100 grams. It's about 459 yards. It's 75% wool and 25% polyamide nylon. I love this yarn. This is the way it's gonna work up. I like it because it shows the picture of how it's gonna work up on it. And this was on sale at Paradise Fibers at one point. I made an order and it was on sale. A lot of times they'll put some Regia yarn, the colors that don't sell that much, on sale. And then especially if they want to bring in new colors. But that's that one. It was started. Now it's restarted. I have my basket here. I just call this kind of like a harvest basket. It's kind of a thicker wicker basket, but it's flexible. And I put my smaller things inside so I can keep them all in one spot. I have a tendency of sitting on my bed watching TV in the evenings after I get home from work and knitting, and then I just throw the bag off to the side and it makes my room a flippin' mess. So, next. Y'all, I got these amazing Portland leather tote bag. I got a bucket bag too, you'll see. I used it. This one's not so bad for work, but when you're throwing this in it, plus a pencil pouch and a calendar and your wallet and all kinds of things in it, it's not as big as I thought it was. But I had gotten these little charms, I think from Hobby Lobby. Anyway, this is a little turtle that says slow your roll on the back, and its shell is yarn, and this says good vibes, and it's just a plastic piece that was on there. And I embraced the bag charms. The only thing I don't like about it is I like my little guy to be hanging out, and that's the only thing that I have. Oh, look. I just noticed. I can take that one off and just have him. It had another little lobster claw right there, so I like the good vibes only. I just don't like the colors. So that can be used for something else. Anyway, sidetrack. In here, I have some Yarn Bee Soft and Sleek DK in the color Peacock. This is, I'm pretty sure I have that. Do I not have? I don't have that one. I try to keep my yarn labels that I'm using. I'll show you. I've shown it before. Paper clipped. I have one that goes on the side too. Paper clipped in the journal where I write everything down so that I have it. And I actually don't have this one in there. But anyway, it is in the color Peacock. This comes from Hobby Lobby. This is 100% low pill acrylic, and it's about 478 yards per skein. I have several skeins of that, and I am making the Sio, and I'm having issues with it. I'm trying to get it where I don't like to print the pictures on the patterns because it uses so much. But this is how much it holds. And there's a little pocket I have the pattern in. So let me see if I can bring that up on Ravelry. But like I was saying, I don't like to print every page of the pattern because I don't like to print the pictures because it uses so much ink. And like with this one, with the do-si-do pattern, there's pictures mingled in with the pattern, and those I will, obviously have to print, but I don't like to. I really don't. I do like it when pattern designers, and this is just me, I like it when pattern designers have the picture on the very front of the pattern, and they'll have all their information and a picture or two, like where you can find them, their email address, different things on the very last page of a pattern. But then you can actually choose whether or not to print those 2 pages, and I just write the name of the pattern on the top. But this is the Zero sweater. I love it because of the sleeves and all that good stuff, right? So it's going to be kind of an oversized sweater, but this right here is as far as I've gotten. I have yarn tangled up. It starts with a provisional cast on, and that's all I've gotten done right there. This is my provisional cast on. This is where I'm at. And it's not because I don't like it, it's because it's new. Okay? This pattern uses a FDDR, front double decrease right, or something like that. Anyway, I've gotten several. How many have I done? I have only done 4 rows, and I have to do those 4 rows a couple of times, and it's a FDDR and a FDDL, and it's the decreases, and it's gonna make a very pretty decrease detail, but every time I go to do it, I need to watch the video every single time. And honestly, the tutorial video is good. It's really good, but I could use it with an explanation of what she's doing as she's doing it, or slow motion, or both. So I may need to try to find that video tutorial in those manners, and maybe I can do it a little bit faster, but that's just one repeat of those that I've done so far. And I started that one. When did I start that one? Did I? Oh my gosh, I did not even write down when I started that one. So I need to, I thought I did. Huh. I need to add it to my list. So this is what I can tell you. I started it on September 6th, 2025. Thank you, Ravelry, because I had some of that yarn in stash, and I ordered another ball or two to meet what I had in stash in the same color. Zero sweater. I'm writing it down. I won't add all the details. And it's by Morica Knits. And that's on Ravelry. So yeah, I started that September 6th, and I've got that much done. Today's the 21st, and that's why, is because every time I get to that row, I have to watch exactly what to do, and it's slow going. So we'll see. That was WIP number 2. Number 3 is in a little bag that I made myself. And I've got a lot done on it. Woohoo! I got 10 rounds of a 20 round cuff done. These are my vanilla bean socks. I started them yesterday. That's also by Kayla Litton, or the Crazy Sock Lady, with a US 1 and a 64 stitch. That is a unlabeled unlabeled gray sock yarn that I had. I'm also doing these on a US 1 unicorn and I got it all twisted around. Unicorn needles in the magic loop. Let me show you. This is another pair of the US ones that I have. This is what I'm using. For those of you that don't know about the unicorns, they're made by Abby, or I mean not Abby, but Addie. And when you're using them, there is a little slit. I don't think you can actually see it unless I put something in there. And I don't think I have anything I can put in there. Let's see. I may can get this stitch marker in there. They're perfect for if you're doing socks and you do like an afterthought heel. So right there, there's a little slit in it. See it? That's a little better. That you can run thread, waste yarn, whatever through. And when you're knitting across, it carries it with it, and it carries it with the needle as you're knitting across, and then you can take it out on the other side and you've knit in a lifeline without having to try to pick up all the stitches. Sorry about that. I'm also gonna do the main body of these socks in the pattern Croy, and this is the blue raspberry. I've been wanting to do socks out of this for a long time, and I actually found it at Michael's the other day. So the Vanilla Bean by Kay Litton. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. There you go. I'm pretty sure it's similar to my what do they call them? The blueberry waffle socks that I did not long ago. It looks like pretty much the same stitch pattern, but I got it. I'm gonna pause. Okay, so now the next one that I'm doing is my Felix sweater. Let's see. How long ago? I just started it, but I wanted to give you a picture. Here it is. It's called the Felix pullover. That's it right there. You can't really see a whole lot. You can kind of see the detail right here. If you watch Wool Needle's hands, you'll see that she's made several of these. They're the Felix pullover by Amy Christophers, or Christopher. Yeah, I cannot pronounce it. I started this September 19th. It's done with Cascade Yarns Hampton, which is 70% Pima cotton and 30% linen. I'm doing it in the color number 8, and I'm using the US 5 and US 8 needles. This is the Hampton label. Can't really see that, but there you go. This is labeled as a DK weight yarn, and I'm pretty sure that this calls for an Aran weight. It's done on a size 10 needle with the ribbing and cuffs done on a US 5, but the body's done in a 10. I'm doing it like I did my ranunculus. I'm doing the collar and cuff and hem in a 5, and I'm doing the like it calls for, and then I'm doing the body in an 8. So this is how far I've gotten so far. Let's see, where am I at? This is the beginning of the round. So you can kind of see it's a little bunched up. Where is my detail? You can kind of see the detail starting. I'm not sure that I did it right. I may have messed it up, but you can kind of see it here at the beginning of the round. But all I've done is start the collar and get it through the short rows on the back. And I started that Friday. So this is the yarn caked up. This is the yarn in the skein. It's a gorgeous, like, natural, I don't know what you would call that. It's not a, it's not like a white, I'm gonna say like a creamy bone color. That's what I call it, a creamy bone color. A lot of these don't have a whole lot of progress on it, but I wanted to touch bases on what I'm working on. That's the whole point. This one I just started yesterday, and it is the, oh, I have to look it up. Only because, again, I did not print the picture. I'm doing it in Rowan Yarns. It's the knit along with Arna and Carlos. I cannot think. I'm sorry. I can't pronounce that, but there it is. WIP Cow release. It's a blanket or a cushion. You sign up on Rowan Yarns. It's called the Festive Cow on RowanYarn.com. I am doing it in Rowan Norwegian yarn, and I'm doing it in frost pink and red velvet. This is what I have so far. Guess what, guys? It's color work in the flat. It's flat color work, and you're doing blocks, and you're gonna sew them. You're going to sew them all together in the end. So Rowan Norwegian wool, and the colors 20 and 23. 20 is frost pink. 23 is the red velvet, I believe. Let's see, which one is this? Yes, 20 is the frost pink. 23 is the red velvet. I'm only doing those two colors. That's as far as I've gotten. I'll show you the first block when I'm done with it. It's living in my Flock Fiber Fest 2025 bag, which is just a zippered tote bag, which is perfect for something like this, to me. I started that yesterday, and that's week number 1, so pattern 1, and the patterns will come out on Monday every week. So if you're interested, you can go to Rowan. You can get the pattern download from there. The pattern's free. To participate in their cow, I don't know if there's something special that they're doing, but they only want you to use Rowan wool, and that's it, which I decided to do because I thought my local yarn shop she carries Rowan, but she only carries Rowan tweed, which is awesome, but it's not the right one. So I ordered mine from Jimmy Bean Wools, because here in the US we have the whole tariff thing. I'm not going to go into it again. People in Ireland and Canada and Europe, you are used to the whole tariff thing. Bless you for having to deal with that for so long. It's just becoming a thing with us. And if you're having to pay as much as what it was going to cost me to have yarn sent from Canada, that's pretty flippin' expensive. And so I'm trying to go with local places, and the stockist for some of these, like Knitting for Olive, I get from Bainbridge Island. What's the name of it? La Mercier, whatever, in Bainbridge Island. I got my Knitting for Olive there because they're still shipping to the people that stock, and my price hasn't changed. And Rowan is still shipping to some people that stock their yarns as well. Those are the two that I've noticed that you can still get without prices changing. So yeah, here in the US, I'm trying to find a little bit different yarns to go with that are locally sourced, which is a good thing because it's good for our local economy. The bad thing is that even though there's sheep at farms all around me, it's very hard for me to find locally sourced wools. So there you go. Next, I have what I am calling my circus socks. I don't know what brand of yarn this is or anything like that. It's I got it from Good Yarns in Portland, Oregon. This is the tag that was on it. So you see what I see. It's sock yarn, Circus Carnival, 50 grams was $5. I got 2 of those so I could make a pair of socks. They were intended for my partner, but they're like a crayon box. Look at that. It's like having a crayon box on your foot. Anyway, these are done on a US 1 Chagu needle. I'm doing a 3x1 rib sock, which you can't really, well, you can whenever I stretch it out. You can kind of see the 3 knit, the 1 purl. I just did a short sock. I'm using a Knit Pick Stroll in a yellow for the heel, which is a heel flapping gusset. I'm continuing the 3x1 rib on the top, and I'm just doing stockinette in the back. What else is there? I started these on September the 6th, 2 at a time. Um, but I had probably this much done, and I had it marked for an afterthought heel, and I had to restart them on September the 16th. And I did the same thing with the 3x1 rib and all of that, but I had to restart it because this is how I had it. This is in my Christmas chipette bag, which is a little bit smaller than the other one, which he said that he redid them. This is his first version. The Carrie's Obsession is his second version. And as you can see, it has two 50-gram balls with a mini for my heel, toe, and cuff. It also has my sock ruler in it. And I lay these right on top with the needles pointing down, just like that. I had these socks in a different bag. I talked about them last week. They sat on my desk at work. I got sick. I came home early. This was on the 16th. When I went to get out of the car, I dropped the bag. When I went to catch the bag, I caught the end of the needle. The socks came all the way off. This is my circus yarn Crayola box. Not great to pick up stitches. I was already ill. I took them completely out and cast them on again after I woke up from a nap, and I was just like, no. So part of the problem is yes, I dropped the socks. I tried to catch them, which is bad. Pulled the needle out, and then while not feeling good, tried to pick up the Crayola box part. These are done in 30 rounds for the leg. So I cast on and then I knit 30 rounds. And then I did my heel flap and gusset. You really can't see it all that well. There's the heel flap, there's the gusset. This is the French turn heel, the French heel turn. And then I picked up the stitches for the gusset, which, I don't know. And now I'm about, that's where the gusset ends. So I'm about 10, just over. The blue is the end of the gusset. The orange is the end of the gusset. And then I'm about 10 rounds in on the foot. I'm making these for a coworker because my partner decided, which I like it when he tells me I don't like that color. So they were going to be for him, but he didn't like the color. So I have a coworker that saw them while I was knitting on them. I thought, okay, I'm just going to knit a pair of socks and put it in my box. And he really liked the color. So I told him, hey, what size shoe do you wear? And since it's in a 3x1 rib, they'll stretch, and I can just do them to the length of his shoe size, and hopefully they'll be okay. It's a long one, guys. Sorry. This is the one that I said that I only touched to put it in a bag. I had it in a basket with another project. It was buried underneath that project. I had been working on it, and I wasn't touching this one. This is the Audrey top. I've shown it before. Let's see if I can pull it back up. My Audrey top is by Sorry Norland. I'm making a size 7. I'm using Le Garçon sock weight yarn in Montreal, and I started it August the 17th, 2025. Excuse me. I got this yarn at Flock Fiber. Sorry about that. You don't need to see me blowing my nose. This is the Montreal colorway from Les Garçons. About 400 yards, and this is on their 80% BFL and 20% nylon. It's their BFL sock. Oh my gosh, I love it. I got a sock holder while I was there. I need to keep this one out. I'm not very far into it. If you remember, I was making one of these from, this is as far as I've gotten on the back. Not far at all. I was making one of these out of a linen yarn. And I've got all the way down to these, where you separate for the sleeve, which this is a tank top. And it's like this. This I don't mind, but on the linen one, the opening was way down here. Well, I talked to Sarah from Gentleman Rain at Flock Fiber Festival, and we discussed how to try to work through that. And I started it with this because I should have enough yarn for my size with 2 skeins. And I've done that much of it, and then like I said, it was underneath another project and just kind of got lost because I had it in a basket. I love using my baskets for my projects. I have a couple that are in baskets now that you'll see in a minute. The issue with it is I kind of like put 2 projects in one basket, and then I lost track of one of the projects, and that's not fair to my other projects. So I touched it, I showed it. This one is in my other Portland leather bag. This is the Devon bucket. It just has a little scarf on it. I have another little charm, which is a quilting star. Quilting is the key to joy is what it says. I like this bag. I also try to use it as a day-to-day bag. You see how full it is here. You've seen my traveler's notebook. Put that in with a pencil pouch and wallet and other things, and it's horrible. This is holding a new cast on, which is the Ooey Gooey sweater by Andrea Mowry. I'm using Cascade Heritage in color 5639, which is this right here. It's not really showing very good, is it? Is this my tag? Yep. Cascade Heritage 5639. Oops, this is 75% superwash merino and 25% nylon. It's a sock yarn. It's 100 grams, 437 yards. And I am using a Zauberball. Zauberball Crazy. And I want to say it's in late autumn. You can see on the top there the colors that it's in as it's knit up. This is what I have so far. Isn't that wonderful? This is the Zauberball. This is the Cascade Heritage. There's gorgeous like purpley reds and all kinds of things. It's kind of getting blown out. You can't really see it. It's amazing. I love it. Love it so far. For those that haven't seen it, let me show you the Ooey Gooey. The only issue that I have is if you've been here for a while, I've talked about I'm no longer going to be making um, long sleeve sweaters. This is the Ooey Gooey by Andrea Mowry. She uses Farmer Daughter's fiber yarns, spin cycle, and something else. I can't remember what it is, but they're right around a sport weight, and I have found that these are a good match for that. So this is a special skein. It is cheaper than spin cycle with all the color changing, but it's still kind of pricey. And I don't know if you can see where the yarn's coming off right here. This band is the first part, and you cast on with the color changing, and that's what I've gotten out of it so far. So it's a little touch lighter on the very cast on, and then it starts to move into a darker brown, but I haven't gotten very far. I just cast this on Friday, and it's using a US 2 and a US 4 size needle. The 2 is what I'm using right now because this is actually a top down, and a lot of Andrea Mowry's is bottom up, and I don't really like bottom up, but I love this. Table 10 podcast, Rachel and Renee have both made one, and I love the way theirs came out. And when this sweater started by, I went to the yarn store on Friday. I like to go in on Fridays and say, hi, how are you doing? And I'm looking around because somebody came in that she was helping. This whole sweater is because of this. I saw it. That's why the smile. I saw it. I loved it. I was like, I have the perfect pattern to use that with. And then I looked at a couple of coordinating browns for the main color, and oh my gosh, I love it. Now, I have to get up and pull the rest of them closer, and it's going to be over an hour, guys. I'm sorry. I tried. I only have 7 more to show, so I'll try to go quick. You've seen this before. I had it on my hanger. This is the Runo cardigan by Erie Schmes. Oh, I am like butchering names. I am so sorry. I'm not gonna say the name again. I'm just gonna show it. Shmazu. You can see the detail right there. Pretty good. This is in a solid color. I'm gonna blow that picture up so you can see it even better. That's the detail on the bottom. There's the top. It's like a raglan cardigan. It's really cute. I love it lots so far. This is what it looks like. I'm not going to put it on the hanger. That'll take too long. I haven't gotten much done since last week. This is where the color changes for me. I am doing this in, oh, where's my colors? I didn't put the colors in there either. This is the solid brown is in Yaden Marin. I figured it out that these are 50-gram balls. I figured out that the color is 212, and I bought it on Temu, and it was like 12 balls for $12 to $17. I can't remember, but that's where I got it. And the other is this one. This is the bottom color, and this is Pigment and Ply in Cordwainers and Claymakers. It's a 75-25, 459 yards. I got this at was it Lay Mercery and Bainbridge Island during Flock Fiber Festival. I need to put those two in my stack here as well. I love it. This is the plain brown. I'm done with the brown for now. I do have more of this, but this is what's left of the 4th ball. So it's very soft, and I'm gonna love this cardigan. I'm just gonna love it. The sleeves are gonna be brown as well, and it depends on how much I have left over, because the bottom of this is all done. Here it's a solid color. I'm doing it in that variegated, and it ends with the variegated, so I might do the cuffs here in the variegated as well. So we'll see. The edging for the top is done as you go, so that's already finished, which I love because I don't have to worry about doing anything else. It's done, and I love it. So yeah, okay, I said I was gonna try to hurry. What is this? Oh, this is the Ooey Gooey cowl. I figured I'm doing the sweater, which I did not say because I had gotten sidetracked. I was talking for a minute about the fact that I like the sweater, but I don't like long sleeve sweaters anymore because I just really don't wear them. So my intent is to make the Ooey Gooey sweater a short sleeve and just do a little bit of the main color in between where the color work ends on the rounded yoke, do a little bit of a sleeve, and then repeat the dots from the sleeve here, or just do the main color and then do my color work for the cuffs like it is here. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do yet, but anyway, the Ooey Gooey cowl is the next one, and that is pretty much the same patterning, but that's the Ooey Gooey cowl. It's just the circles and the waves in a cowl, and you knit a long tube. How did she explain it? You're knitting a long tube, you're doing a half twist, and then you're Kitchener stitching them together. So I had this Fonte Mongolia 3 in 85% wool, 15% baby yak. It's very nice and soft. I'm not sure what the color is. I'm gonna say it's that, I think I said it was that 33. I'm not quite sure, but that's it right there. I'm doing it in that color. When did I start this? The Ooey Gooey on September 19th as well. I think I said that was the 33. I'm not sure if that's correct or not. And then I'm mixing it with this which is the Cascade Superwash 220 Waves. This is in the color number 113. That's how it's going to work up. You can kind of see inside there. Well, no, you can't. There's some blues in there. Not sure if I can kind of pull them a little bit so you can see, but there is a blue there that's almost the same color as this. Let's see. These are on... Did I write it down? No, I did not. These are on US 4s. It says lace and lace to get sport weight. This is a 3. This is a 3. This is like a... I don't know. It's kind of like a spin cycle. It's a little bit thicker maybe. Where's... Oh, here it is. This is what it's looking like so far. That's how much I did. There's the provisional cast on. And you do the main color, and then I just started working the chart with the contrast color, so I haven't gotten far at all. A lot of these I just wanted to get cast on because I know that I want to make them. So if I cast them on and they're here, I can change back and forth. This is another pair of socks. They are done with the Fiber Hustle Normie and the Jets, 80% merino, 20% nylon, 450 yards. You've seen this used before. I got it at Flock Fiber Festival. I don't know if that's even seeable. I don't think so. Anyway, I did a green heel on the last pair. This pair I'm doing yellow. So this is the Normie and the Jets, and this is just a knit pick stroll in a yellow. And I'm doing a heel flap and gusset, and I'm doing shorties. I think I did a 30 round leg. I did a little pearl bump thing where I intended to do, I did the knit 2 purl 2 for 12 rounds on the cuff, and then I did 1 round of purl using the main color, and then I did a 30 round leg, and then I did a heel flap and gusset, and this marker is the fact that I just finished the gusset on this one, and I'm about to start doing the foot. That'll be a 65 round foot, and then I'll do the toe in the yellow as well. Here's my other size 1 9-inch circular, because when I was doing the gusset, I had one in the front excuse me, one on the front of the foot and one on the back for the heel decreases, because I'm doing these on 9-inch circulars. And I just left this in there because I think when I pick them up next, I'm just going to go ahead and do the cuff for the second sock and kind of have them, I guess you would say, in tandem. But I can work with the yellow doing the cuff for the second sock because I'm working with the main color with the first sock. There's my first sock and my little yarn cozy. It's still quite a bit, and I'm gonna have some left even after I do this pair of shorties. The first pair was done with a pickle green for the heel toe and cuff, And this one's done in this yellow, so that's one skein of 100 gram, maybe a little bit over 100 gram. I think whenever I weighed it out, it was something like 109. They're right around in there. But one skein of 100 gram sock yarn, I'm getting 2 pairs of shorties with contrasting colors. Next I have, yes, I picked it up again. I picked up my, where's it at? Do I have it on here? I don't think I have it written on here. Nope, because this was started before I started keeping my little notebook here. So I would have to like look way back in the videos to see when I started this. But this is the Do Tea. I originally started it and wanted to make it for Flock Fiber Festival to wear there, and I didn't get there. It's the Do Tea by Fiber Tales. That's it right there. I started it March the 30th of 2020. I need to write that down before I forget. Yes, it's taking me forever. Started March 30th of 2025. The Do Tea, D-U-E-T, by Fiber Tales. So this is the one that I explained in another video. I won't go way into it because we're well over an hour now. This is done in Kilbourne, Andorra. I don't think I have the tag anywhere in here. I need to find that tag. This is being held in a Fiber Hustle bag. I can't remember what he calls these. I like it. It is a little bit hard to carry around, but I do like it. It's very large on the inside. I don't have the yarn tag. This is bottom up. Yes, it looks huge. This is the back. It still looks very big. I started this March the 30th. I took it into the yarn shop with me. I was talking to the owner of the yarn shop, the local yarn shop, about it, and what I had on my needles at that time was over 300 stitches, and it was very large. This one here, I scaled it down. This is it's all rolled up because it's stockinette. This is the front stitches on hold. This is the back, and this is where it comes to on the sides. The other one went all the way around to here because I was making it way too big. There's enough stitches on here as it is. I think this is just plain stockinette starting out. It'll have a crochet bottom to it. When the hem is done, it's a crocheted bottom. I showed it on the podcast. I know I showed it when I was here. From there, after I restarted it, I can't remember if I showed it again here because I had done this much between two podcasts, and I cannot remember if I showed it there. But from that point, I picked it back up. This is where I started when I picked it back up. So I've done 3 or 4 rounds. It's just knitting back and forth. in stockinette. The bottom was done in the round. You can see where I started rowing out, where I started working flat. This is in the round part. This is working flat. It's not so bad. I'm pretty sure it'll block out. I just picked it up. I needed to restart on it. And that's what I did, is I just picked it up and did like 3 or 4 rounds. So there, just so that I could get it off. And I just picked it up on Friday and did a few rounds, and that's where it's at. What is this? That's the pattern for this one. Sorry, sidetrack. I'm trying to hurry at this point, so I'm probably going to get rambling. This is my folded hat. I started it September the 18th. It's by Kay Jones. It's using fingering weight yarn held together, and I'm using the Always Be Kind yarn, and it's a superwash merino. It's a 75-25, and it's a one-of-a-kind mystery skein. And this is it right here. Kay Jones from the Bakery Bears. If you don't watch the Bakery Bear podcast, she did this folded hat where you knit, you do a folded brim, and then you just continue the hat. And that's where I'm at. This was started on the 18th. I did probably about half of the brim up until yesterday. I finished the brim, and then I started picking up the stitches for the folded brim last night. I got up this morning, I finished picking up the stitches for the fold, and this is what I've done this morning. So it's a simple, easy project. You really need to pay attention when you're picking up your stitches, but it is easy. She said on the podcast that people like the inside as well. That's what the inside looks like. Oh, sorry about the change of the light. That's what the inside looks like. So that's the pickup, the folded brim, and then that's just the inside. I'm okay with both. I think she said something at one point in time about maybe doing a version where you're just doing the inside. But if you're careful, there it is on her. If you're careful with the pickups and you're careful with the weaving and the ends, you can flip it inside out. So that's a quick knit. A little different than the Salish cap. I like doing the Salish cap, which is 2 sock yarns marled together. Or you can just use the same skein. I have a lot of 100-gram skeins of yarn. I'm holding this together. The only thing that I didn't like about it is because of how you're doing it and you're holding it together, the darker pink kind of pooled in one spot, and then the other side is more of a lighter pink. So I guess you can decide, do I want my dark side or my light side? It is starting to spread out a little bit, but it's sock yarn. It wouldn't have pulled up that much had I done it in a sock, a smaller circumference. And I could have added a bear yarn or a different color to it, but yeah, not going to do it. I just split the skein into 250 skeins, and that's what I'm using. Next, you saw this last time. This is the painted honeycomb. Painting Honeycomb Shawl by Stephen West. It's on a US 5 needle. This is all stash yarn. This is using Cascade in this green color. I don't have the yarn ball. Oh, wait, here it is. Cascade 7525, Cascade Heritage. I love Cascade Heritage. This is in the color 5654. That's my main color. I'm just going to throw it up here so you can see it in all its goodness, because I am definitely not going to go through all of the colors. You can see here, this is where it started. This is the end. And then I started again. And I done two. This is the end again. I've done 2 rounds or 2 repeats of the colors. I have 15 different stash yarns in this basket. They're all numbered in a little baggie. This is number 3. This is number 5. When I run out, I run out. They won't get repeated. I love it. It's all squishy. Now, that was started on August 31st. The test knit that I'm doing, the Striptastic hoodie from Les Garçons, I started on September the 18th. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to show it or not, but I'm going to show you what I have done already. It's on little bitty needles. You can't really see it very good, but there's a glimpse of what it is. Okay. It's done in DK weight yarn. I'm doing mine with Patton's wool because I did not have enough DK weight yarn. I did my gauge swatch. I met gauge with Patton's wool with the same needle. They do it in a the British DK from Les Garçons is what it's done in. I, however, went to order that yarn, and by the time I paid for enough yarn to do my size, as well as pay the tariffs, I could not afford that yarn. It's nothing on them. I have bought their yarn before. I love their yarn. I just couldn't afford to have it shipped to me. That's the Striptastic. I don't know when this will come out. Have no idea. I'll keep you updated. I'll show it as I can. I started that on the 18th. I had started it on the 12th. No. Yeah, the 12th of September was my original start date. And I had to take it all out and restart it on the 18th because I had messed up. So, because I had to start all, because I had to start all over, I just did it, for the 18th. Excuse me. Now, the next thing that I wanted to say, and I'm not going to linger on it, we'll probably do it next week, is October. To me, is Socktober. I know that Bakery Bears is doing a Socktober. I don't know who else is doing a Socktober, but I have a lot of socks that I want to cast on. I did the Cuff Club, the Sock Cuff Club from Summerly Knits last year, and I signed up for it again for this year. I didn't make any of them from last year, and I haven't made because it starts in August. So year 2 started August um 2025. Last year started August 2024, and I haven't done any of them. I have these socks. I have some Halloween sock yarn that I want to use, and a bunch of other sock yarn that I want to use. And I know I have a lot of WIPs, and I want to get through a lot of these WIPs so that I can do a Socktober. So if you would like to make socks with me in October, that's what I'm going to be doing. And I look forward to doing that with you if you want to join in. If you don't want to join in, I look forward to showing you what I have. I'm thinking I can do socks pretty quick if I'm not doing anything else. So I'd like to get a couple of these projects that I just showed over the last hour. I'd like to get a couple of them done. I'd like to work on the Strip-tastic test net quite a bit to finish it, which I'll have to do. And then I have all of these sock needles. These are all sock needles. I have my really long Chagu ones. I have some other really long ones here. I can do 2 at a time. These Addy Rockets I can do 2 at a time. So I may cast on a couple of 2 at a time socks. These right here are 40 inch, so I've got about 3 sock needles that I can do 2 at a time comfortably on, and then I have several other sock needles here. So I can finish socks that are on the needles, but I am only limited to how many pairs of sock needles I have, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 here. And if I'm able to, there's 3 more on the needles. So I can cast on as many socks as I want, and I probably will on the 1st of October cast on as many socks as I want out of whatever yarn that I want to. One being the Bakery Bears Sockaween for October. I think I'm going to do their pattern. I think that's only a Patreon pattern, so I won't be able to share the pattern, but I can show the progress. And I have several Halloween colorways that I want to cast on, and then some other socks. And I'm not going to force myself to get them all done in October, but I can have them cast on and I can switch back and forth. In case you hadn't noticed, I like to switch because I have an ADHD mind. I'm ADD, whatever you want to call it. I'm hyperactive normally, and I switch back and forth between projects a lot. Hence the 15 WIPs that I've touched this week, because I can work 30 minutes on one WIP, put it down, pick up another one, work 30 minutes, put it down, and I don't get quite so bored. But as you see, I have lots of projects and I'm not really getting a whole lot finished, except for that hat. It's pretty quick. So I'm gonna go now. I've kept you for a very long time. I am so sorry, but that's the WIPs, and I hope you enjoyed. Bye.